welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. And you know what? This is the very first program of 2023. I do not even know where 2022 went. It seemed like it just flew by. And I'm sure that my co host, the man that lives out in Colorado, can tell you that same thing because I know he's been busy too. Let's bring on the man from the mountains, Jay Gill. Hey, how you doing, son?
Boy, I am good and I look like I'm from the mountains. Oh my goodness. That beard is getting fluffier and fluffier. I love it.
Fluffy. Yep,
Dad, super excited. Like you said, this is our first episode of 2023. And so we had
that's
to
right.
just bring on an all star young lady from mid Missouri who just happens to compete in multiple events for the Eugene Eagles. In softball, Katelyn Peterson is a two-time academic all-state qualifier, second team outfielder for Class 2 District 2. In basketball, she competed in the 2021 District 8 Championship and Sectional Championship. In track, Caitlin made the 2021 Academic All State team, placed fourth in districts for pole vaulting, and third in sectionals. Boy, I think I would snap a pole vault, just to be honest with you. All right. Not to mention, Caitlin also made all district band three times. She also has a weighted GPA of 4.23. Didn't realize that was possible. She's at the top of her class. She's on track to graduate with 30 college credits. Dad, I'm 34 years old. I haven't accomplished half of what this young lady has done in her 18 years. It is an honor and privilege to welcome Caitlin Peterson onto One Nation.
Let's go ahead and bring her on. Caitlin, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We are doing good. Jay knows how to give an intro, doesn't he?
Yes.
All right. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight, and we're excited. You're the first program that we have for 2023. So, like Jay said, we're just kicking it off right, and you've done a lot of outstanding stuff. I don't even know how you find time to do all of that. We were just talking about how 2022 flew by, and I'm sure it really flew by for you.
It did.
All right. Well, we've got some good questions, I think, for you tonight. And I'm saying that because I wrote them, and then I'm having Jay ask them, so we just feel like they're good. So, Jay, go ahead.
Awesome. So, Caitlin, it's really hard to find where to begin. You're involved in so many awesome things. Like I highlighted, you play basketball, softball, you compete in track, all district and band three times. What other things are you involved in besides just what we've listed?
So I've been involved in student council. This is my third year this year, and I'm also a third year member of the NHS program, and I'm also a fourth year member of the FCA. And then on the flip side, I am part of the academic bowl team that made it to state last year, and then I've made it through conference multiple times with them, and it's just an amazing experience to be with them and be with all my peers throughout the years.
I got to go back to this 4.23 GPA. Wow. You decided I'll go all the way through four, and that's boring enough, so we'll just start on the next four. Is that how that works? That's great. Well, Jay's a pretty smart guy too, so I know he appreciates you with all of your academics. And wow, what a list of accomplishments that you've had in that. And I know you're not done yet, so well done. And I know that your family must be very proud of you. All right, Jay, you go ahead and go on with the next one.
Awesome. So, Caitlin, tell us about your senior season in softball. We want to hear about how the team did and also about your own personal accomplishments.
So during my senior year, I honestly did not think that I was going to have as much fun as I did towards the end of the season. It was like a rush of energy the whole entire time. So we finally made it to districts and we were playing Iberia in the last game. It was so stressful. Ashlyn pitched a great game and she's one of my closest friends that I can say ever in my life right now. It was just so intense. We were going back and forth with them and we finally made it. And then we made it to quarterfinals. And quarterfinals were even more stressful than districts, and we still accomplished that. And then going to the final four, that was just absolutely insane. One of the most blessed experiences I've had, other than going to state for track. It's like those two combined are just some of the best experience I'm going to have with my teammates and with my coaches and everyone else in my life. Personally, it's just like overwhelming with joy to see like how young my team was and how much they can accomplish in the future without Ashlyn and I.
Well, we got to meet you out at your school, and we did your interview, and you have an article that is in Sports Soccer Magazine, and that's you right there. We had lots of fun doing the photo shoot, and I didn't do the photo shoot. Jay didn't do the photo shoot. I think we were probably just props. I think one of us were probably props holding up the light while Katie did the photography. She always does an outstanding job, but we had a lot of fun, and you are well thought of at your school by the staff and as far as coaches as well. So we're honored to be able to have you on the program as well as to be able to represent you and what you're doing at Eugene High School.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate
absolutely. Uh, I wanted to go back to something here real quick. In previous seasons, you were a two-time academic all-state qualifier and second team outfielder for Class 2 District 2. Um, any awards that you've had happen since softball?
I did not get any awards from senior year. Unfortunately, I was having a rough season with hitting towards the end of the year, but it was
Hmm.
my pleasure to let other people hit in order for a
Yeah,
success.
that's part of what being a leader is. Even sometimes when we're having a little bit of difficulty, we're able to lift other people up and encourage them. Jay used to do that for me a lot when we played, softball together, just in our particular leagues. Why are you shaking your head, Jay?
because I
Why?
was one of the worst out there.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
I just
no,
tried to
no,
make the team laugh. I was
no.
like the class clown of the softball team.
He was not. Caitlin, he he got he got drilled, I think, harder than I've ever seen anybody get drilled at home plate when he caught the ball and the guy just ran straight over him. And Jay's a big guy and he went flying. And but he got back up. I don't think he was maybe facing in the right direction when he got back up, but he did get back up. So
Nope, nope,
did
didn't
you?
know where I was and thought I missed the school bus. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun. Caitlin, I'd love to hear more about some of the adversity that your team faced, and what you guys had to push through to carry all the way to the final four. I think that's just such a cool story. I want to hear more about it.
So like our big thing was playing Iberia because we had lost to them in the past seasons in districts over and over again.
Mm.
And we were just like so like bummed out that they were in our district again. But then whenever it came to the final four, we knew that we could beat them because we had lost previously by one to them in the season. But previously in the year, we were just so in our heads during that game that we knew that it was our game during districts. And then quarterfinals came easy. But the hardest game, in my opinion, was that Russellville game at the end, our
Mm.
rivals that we're playing, and then we just like have to play them again for the third time that season, and we were just over it.
Hmm. I understand that. Your mom, who has joined us, she is watching the program tonight. She probably did a little bit of hollering for you in the stands. I'm guessing, did she?
Oh yes, for sure.
All right.
Oh,
I have to tell Jay this. I was sharing a little bit with you before, but Jay, when I was in Capital City delivering magazines, I saw her mom there. I didn't know she worked there, and she said, "Hey, my daughter's in that magazine," and I'm like, "Cool. Which one?" And she said, "Katelyn Peterson." I said, "Well, awesome. We're trying to get her to do a Facebook Live, and here we are. Thank you, Tammy, for making sure that your daughter was available. And when she might have wanted to say no, I don't want to be on there with those two guys, or kind of, I don't know, kind of out there. But thank you, Tammy, for encouraging her to come on. Caitlin, thank you for listening to your mother. All right, Jay, you can go.
uh,
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me
Caitlin,
tonight. I'm just going. I'm sorry.
Dad, I love it. I love when you come out of your shell. This is great. So, Caitlin, tell us a little bit about basketball and track. What are some of your accomplishments there? And then what are you wanting to achieve your senior year, both team wise and personally?
So for basketball, especially, we haven't had like the biggest team this year, and it's been very frustrating. But in the past seasons, I've just had such a big team that's never been a problem with that. So my sophomore year, I made it to the District 8 with my team, and then eventually to the sectionals. And then that last game, watching the seniors play, it was like another one of the best experiences. It was almost like we were in the quarterfinal or in the state game. For basketball this year, I'm hoping that we can make it out of district. It's gonna be a tough game against Tipton if we eventually play them, and that's just gonna be rough on its own. But we're gonna beat them hopefully. It's just going to be a good game overall. And then for track, especially, I'm very excited for track. Recently, my sophomore year, I won conference my junior year, and then my sophomore year, I placed fourth at districts, and then third at sectionals, and then became a state finalist for pole vault. And then my junior year, I decided, hey, I'm only pole vaulting. I need to do something else. So then I decided to do triple jump and long jump, and that was just hard on its own because they're both difficult sports. And then I eventually placed fourth at districts again, and then was like pushed out sectionals because the other girls were just better than me. And for this year, I'm hoping that I can make it out of districts again and hopefully sectionals, and maybe just set a couple new PRs for me, because then that's a big stride for me.
So this is the question I know that everybody wants to know. Why pole vault? Why hurdle yourself down the track, sticking a pole into a hole, and then flinging yourself up in the air to
Mm-hmm.
really kind of silly heights to be flinging yourself up in the air to? What made you decide you wanted to
Yeah.
do that?
So my eighth grade years, whenever I like kind of got into it, not really. I competed in one meet and cleared one bar, and that was all that I did. But I remember watching Kelly Hoskins in track. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he's pole
Hmm.
vaulting at Truman still, and it was so exhilarating watching him. I would come and watch the meets, like it was so exciting to see him, and I was like, I know that I have to try this because I will always want to try anything. And I was like, if I'm bad at it, I can just quit and run.
Yeah.
Was my thought there. It's
Well,
like
that's great.
I something else.
Yeah, that is so cool that you tried that. I did try that in eighth grade, and I'm just telling you, I went, stuck the pole in there, went up, and then I went sideways off. And I said, okay, I'm like you said, I'm gonna
Hard.
just go run.
That's the hardest part about pole vault is trying to like land safely, because I have sprained my ankle multiple times from pole
Oh,
vaulting back up the
yeah,
track.
Oh,
it is.
so
It.
what?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask her what is your PR in pole vault?
My PR, like personally, is 9 foot. I went to a camp in Colorado this past year, but for school records, I hold the record for 8'8".
Very good.
Wow. Yep, I would do more than sprain my ankle. I'll tell you that. I would I would break my neck doing something like that.
The whole idea of getting yourself upside down, hanging onto a pole, and thinking, "Oh, please don't break." That's just my whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to trust the pole, trust your coaches, and it's been a great season the past couple of years because Coach Kraus for me has been like definitely a big impact, has impacted my life a lot with pole vault and like throughout my life with him.
Well, Caitlin, that is good that you are able to do all that. Yes, trust the coaches, but the part I would have a problem with is trusting the pole. I trust the coaches, but not the pole or myself. Not with that. But well done. Good job. And you're going to continue to do outstanding in that this year. So good luck in that.
Thank you.
Well, this is a perfect segue into the next question. How impactful have your coaches been in your career and life? And that's across all your sports.
So I believe like one of the most impactful people has been like Jess Adrian. Jess Adrian has always been here for me, whether it's through softball because she's been my coach for 3 years, or whether it's through anything in life, including Garrett Krause also. He has been someone who's there for me, someone who's just easy to talk to, who I can like skip class and just go and see. And it's just so special to have a relationship with coaches and be safe to talk to them. It's just something that I can't ask anything different for.
Well, I know that they probably really appreciate somebody like you that,
Yep.
again, as a leader, You are, even when things might not be going the way you want to personally, but you're right there encouraging everybody to come together and do the best they can. So I know that they have to appreciate you for that. And so the next one I want to ask, along with your coaches, what's so special about your school and your time at Eugene? What have you enjoyed about that?
I think what's so special about it is that the fact that it's a smaller school and that I can make close relationships with people that normally I may not have would have. It's just so easy to like talk to them. Yes, drama can go around so much faster, but it's just so much easier to be close with everyone and not to even have as much drama if your grade can like just come together and be with them. And plus it makes it easier for sports to be able to get playing time, in my opinion.
That is good. That does help. Jay, you got anything you want to add before we go to break?
No, I'm just super excited to get back into segment 2 because we've got a lot more good questions for Caitlin.
Well, Caitlin, part of that is too that he's excited about that speed round because he's got some specific questions, fun questions that he wants to get some answers to. So do not leave us during the break. They are not bad questions. I promise you, they're going to be good.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors. We'll be right back. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, Jay, we've got some great sponsors, and these people help bring you on here, so I get to see your face, every week. So that makes me happy, as well as we get to talk to some really outstanding student athletes, just like Katelyn Peterson, who we've had on tonight. So why don't you tell them thank you?
Absolutely. We can't thank our sponsors enough. I'm going to start off with Missouri Army National Guard. They say 5% of the U.S. population for people who are of the right age and and have the right build, health, people who can qualify to be in the military. 5% of them have a calling that they want to join the military and serve their country. Less than 1% act on that calling. If you're in mid-Missouri, if you have that calling and you want to join and you're trying to find a place, look at the Missouri Army National Guard. They will help you pick out the right career, get you on the right track, and we can't thank you enough for wanting to serve your country. It's the highest honor, and we absolutely love our troops. So thank you all very much for that. Next up, we have CNS Business Services. They have been around for 45 years. They help people get placed into the right business. If you are looking for a job, if you need flexible scheduling, if you are in need of certain criteria and you're having trouble finding it, call CNS Business Services. They will work diligently to make sure you are placed in the right career for you, and you will have an amazing time working with CNS Business Services. There's a reason they've been around for 45 years. Don't hesitate. Call them. Thank you.
That's right. Awesome job. And you know what? I just saw that we have Ryan Olson joined us on the program here. And, Ryan, I hope you appreciate that I had that Man-Child Chronicles logo up on there. Jay, real quick before we get back in our interview, tell everybody about the Man-Child Chronicles podcast.
Oh, The Man Child Chronicles podcast is just it's a podcast with four best friends. I'm one of them. Then you've got Ryan Olson, Michael Glavin, and John Gill, and we all get together and we just like to laugh and have fun. And so we release out new content every week. We do. Right now, we are working on a draft segment for best movies of all time, and every Friday we are drafting different genres, and that is going to lead to Super Bowl weekend, where we will have a battle round of the best movies of all time. So yeah, we have a lot of fun. We laugh and joke a lot, and it's a clean podcast, so the whole family can listen. So yeah, go ahead and listen to the Man Child Chronicles podcast. Every Friday we have a new episode drop. Yeah, that's fun. Thanks, Dad.
Hey, no problem. Speaking of fun, let's go ahead and bring Katelyn back on here, and we're gonna have some fun in the second segment. And I want to ask this question because when you were talking about the Missouri Army National Guard, in her article, Katelyn was talking about ROTC. You want to share a little bit about some of your goals and thoughts with what you're wanting to do with that after school, Katelyn?
Yeah, of course. So, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to attend a college to major in nuclear engineering. So, with nuclear engineering, the easiest way for me to apply myself, which I've been wanting to do for the past couple years now, is to join the military. And the easiest way for me to get the college experience and to be able to have fun with my friends and my family on the weekend still is by joining ROTC. And the ROTC basically pays for your school and they let you go to school and then you serve 4 years active duty after that. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to be either for the Naval, which is my first choice, or for the Air Force, which is my second choice. And if I get into one of those, then I'll go to whichever engineering school that I get put into. And I recently got accepted into Texas A&M. So if I get the Naval ROTC for there, that is where I'm gonna end up going.
That is so cool. Speaking of Texas A&M, now you play in band too, don't you?
I do.
What instrument do you play?
I play the flute and the piccolo, and then I know how to play a few other instruments, but
Okay. The Texas A&M Aggies marching band, they are a sight to behold when they are on the football field. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's pretty amazing.
it, I don't think that I would be able to do that just because engineering is a hard major anyways, and
Yeah.
plus I've never field march before, and they are just like, I think they'd be way too good for me.
That to me that's right up there with pole vaulting. That's just something I just don't think I could do. Bad things would happen. I'd be running into people. I just wouldn't think that would work. Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for, I know that that's the goal that you have, and we're just going to say thank you in advance for serving your country, and um, we're we're very blessed that we have people like you that are doing that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Jay, kick her off.
Man, for anyone who's just now tuning in, like I said earlier, we've got Katelyn Peterson. She has accomplished more in her life than I have in my 34 years. She is an amazing young lady, and I can't wait to get kicked off here with segment two. So I want to talk about your academics. Obviously, that is something that's very important for you. Um, where does your focus come from there, and how are you able to stay at such a high level academically?
So I think for me personally, it came a lot from how my parents raised me. They raised me very well and raised me that I had to get good grades, not necessarily like perfect grades, but that's something that I wanted for myself. And ever since freshman year, whenever I started taking hard classes immediately, it honestly just became a habit to get my homework done as soon as I got home. Then I can go out and do whatever I want. And that's just been how I've done it all these years.
Very good. Now you say in your article that you and your dad are pretty much exactly alike. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your dad and about your mom and how they've impacted your life?
So my dad, he's been such a good parent to me, and we've gone on so many fishing trips, and I could explain so many stories that he always brings up the fish getting bigger and bigger every time that we fish out there. And he's just been one of the people to push me to be my best, just to make me strive to be my best and to have like every opportunity that I can. And then my mom, on the other hand, yes, she does all these things, but she's the one who taught me to love and care for each other no matter what the situation is and how much you hate each other, especially in our family, but you always have to be there for each other no matter what. And she's the one who taught me that.
That is great. So just an idea. how big of a fish is your dad talking? I mean, how big?
Well, one time my dad went down to Texas and he caught a 9 pounder, but sometimes he likes to increase his stories and he's like, "Oh, I caught a 10 pounder, blah blah blah."
Yeah, yeah. Everything's always bigger in Texas. I mean, that's what they say. So maybe it lost weight. I
In
don't
about
know.
35 years, he's going to be talking about that 27-pound fish down in
That's right.
Texas.
That's right.
And I'm
Biggest
telling you,
bass on record
just,
in the state.
just that's right. Just go with it, Caitlin. Just go
Let's
with it.
just go with it.
You also have a few siblings. I'd love for you to talk about them and about your relationships with them.
So my oldest sister, she's 23 now. She graduated from University of Illinois with a chemistry degree. She has been someone that I look up to in academics and just like throughout everything in life. She's so easy to talk to. She's one of my favorite people in the world, and she's just someone I can look up to. And then my younger sister, Carrie Ann, excuse my language, but she is a pain in the ass. And it's so fun to be around her. She's such a fun person, and it's just someone that I can hang out with no matter what and I can always rely on.
Okay. So younger sister, there you go. There you go.
That's all. I've got a younger brother. I totally relate. Uh, in your article in Sports Locker, you talked about your Grammy and the advice that she's given you. How special is that relationship for you, and what do you appreciate most about Grammy?
Grammy and I have a different connection than I have with anyone. And I think my favorite thing about her is just her always wanting to spend time with me and me always wanting to spend time with her no matter what. She has taught me so many things throughout my life that I just can't take back. And like whenever she does pass, I hope that I can remember her forever and ever and that I can tell my grandkids about her and my children. And I just hope that we always have this special relationship even whenever I do go off to college.
And talking about college, why don't you go ahead? I know you talked about nuclear engineering. Is there any other things that you're wanting to do as you're getting, ready for your future outside of high school?
So I've just like been preparing. I've been doing applications, and of course, like Texas A&M is not necessarily like my only option. I'm also applying to like University of Illinois, and then the University of Michigan, and then I've been accepted to S&T, which is very close to home. So that is a very good option that I can take, and they
Hmm.
have a great engineering program, and that's something that I could definitely do.
Very good. Very good. Jay, we've got
I
one more
also
question
I
before
also
we hit
wanted
speed
to.
round.
Well, I'm gonna make it two more.
Make it
Uh,
two.
I also wanted to I also wanted to give you time here, Caitlin, to talk about your teammates and how impactful they've been in your life. And I want to give you a little bit of chance to talk about your team.
My teams across the board have been so grateful to me. They have just always been there for me whenever I needed them, and I've been there for them. Especially my teammates, Ashlyn, as I mentioned earlier, and then like Olivia, she's another big teammate of mine. And the three of us have just gotten closer over basketball, and then Olivia and I with track. And it's just so great. Another thing is to play with my younger sister, Carrie Ann. It's just so special to play with her and be able to play with her this season for basketball, knowing that it might be my last season ever playing with her if I don't play summer ball. And it's just like it's so special with me to connect with my teammates and how different we are but how similar we are at the same time, and it's just so amazing to like see what we have in common and everything.
That's great. And having those
It's
connections
very
with
cool.
people is something that you always be able to hold on to. And speaking of that, I just saw a friend of ours join the program to watch you tonight, and Casey Waymeyer. Just a little shout out to you. I enjoyed doing a lot of pickup basketball games with Casey, and a good man. And thanks for joining us tonight. All right, Jay, one more question, and then it's the speed round.
Perfect. Caitlin, the title of your article in Sports Locker was Be Kind. Be Kind. Dad has it right there. Describe in your own words why we might have chosen that title for you.
In my article I talked about how like one of my passions is to like just be kind to everyone. That's what I strive to do in my life, is just to be nice to anyone and everyone that comes my way. And that's another thing with going in the military. I want to represent the people that who are bullied and everything else in our school. And I'm sure most of you guys know, but like the two kids that passed these past couple years, it's just like something that I am like especially proud of our school that has been trying to like do more stuff to involve like and stuff like that. And that's just something that I wish that I could help others with.
Well, that focus and that caring that will make a difference in the people that you are coming in contact with in the halls, as well as the lunchroom, the classroom, on the court. We never know what somebody is going through before we see them that day. So that is an outstanding thing that you guys are doing there. Jay, guess what? Jay,
Speed
guess
round
what?
time.
Speed round. And I know you.
Oh, it's
Do
the
you
speed round.
do you have the theme song yet?
Dun 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 dun
Okay.
dun dun dun. Speed round. Speed round. I don't
All
know.
right. Hey,
No,
that's
you
different.
just
That's different. I'll take it.
thank
That's
you.
good.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. I'm very excited. I always have one question I have to ask everybody. Katelyn, what is your go-to snack or meal after a big game? I have to know, what food do you love?
I love my dad. After all of our games, he buys us a Dr. Pepper and a cheeseburger, and then he'll put anything we want on it. That's our go-to after the games.
Very good.
That's awesome. What do you get on your burger? I got to dive in more. I got to know.
So I just put the basic pickles, ketchup, mustard, and then have the cheese on it, and that's like basically anything that's at the concession stand. But if it's me at home, I'm gonna load it up with stuff. That's the only right way to make a cheeseburger.
There you go.
I like it. I like it. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you want to go?
I would probably. So I really like the water, so I'd probably want to go to like Australia and see the coral reefs, or even go up to like Norway and like and snow ski up there, or even just go to Greece and like see like the beauties of it. But if I had to choose, I'd probably want to go snorkeling in Australia.
Okay, Caitlin, time
Nice.
time out. Time out. Okay, so she pole vaults. She's, we're talking about going through the band at Texas A&M, but this takes the cake. Snorkeling in shark infested waters with great whites. That's it. You are a thrill seeker, aren't you, Caitlin? You're a thrill seeker.
I am a little bit.
Okay, all right. All right, sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Look, I always have to share this advice when I hear it. People who like to swim in the ocean, I do have advice. I have a guaranteed way to know if there is a shark in the water. So pay attention. You go down to the beach, dip your finger in the water, taste it. If it tastes like salt water, don't go in. There are sharks in the water. That's my advice.
That is great advice. I like it.
Perfect. Okay, anyways. All right, Caitlin, finish this phrase. When I dance, I look like.
Probably like a zombie. I'm so bad at dancing.
All right, I like it. All right, you got the stiff arms.
it's
Okay,
it's
okay. A
bad.
zombie.
I'm no good at dancing.
All right. This one might be a tricky one. Do you prefer the competition that is in band, or do you prefer the competition that's in softball?
Oh, probably the competition of band because I know that I can like put in so much work and effort in my own time, and that's just something that I want to pursue even after high school. So that's just something personally that I would rather choose than softball.
Good.
Very cool. My last question, and this is, I want to hear more wisdom from you because we've got a lot of great wisdom nuggets from you tonight. What advice or piece of wisdom do you wish you would have learned earlier in life?
Um, I think I wish have learned that like the people that you meet are always going to be there for you no matter what, and that you have to trust them and rely on them. Like you're and like eventually they're going to leave your life and you just aren't going to never know. So it's always like say hi, say just be nice to them, and it's something that like you don't realize cuz I moved my 8th grade year and it was like one day I was out and people didn't know until that day that I was moving. So it's like they never got a heads up, and it's just like you never know whenever you're going to say goodbye to someone. It's just hard like that.
That's kind of how
That's
I
good
feel
advice.
when Jay left us here in Jefferson City and moved to Indiana, and that was close enough, 4 hours. And then he thought that's too close. I'm going to move my family to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then that was like what 11 and a half, 12 hours away. And he said, no, that's still a little too close. So then he moves on the other side of the mountains, 15 and a half hours away, and he just said they're not going to come over those mountains. But you know what? We fly. We go out there and we fly and we see them. So you can run, but you cannot hide, Jade Gill.
I will never hide from you, Dad. Love you.
Okay, good. Love you too. All right. So I have some speed round questions. And so,
All right.
Caitlin, my funniest moment running in the base in softball happened to be on one of those days when the field was tacky, kind of, that little muddy kind of thing. And I was running into second base and I dove head first and my body stuck and then my legs went all the way over the top of my head. So what was your funny moment running the bases?
My funniest moment is pretty similar to that, except a little bit different. I was diving into second during a practice one day last season, and I was covered head to toe in mud. And I had to go to work that afternoon because it was a Friday, and there was a volleyball game, so I just had to walk through the school and then go into showers, and people were just staring at me. It was so embarrassing. And my coaches were just like, that's what you got to do is get dirty.
That's awesome. Hey, my friend right here, she had to bring this up. She said that is called a folding chair move, and I know that that's the one that she's talking about for me. I felt like a folding chair that had been, whew, folded the wrong direction. I can tell you that. Well, okay, I've got some more. What chore, maybe besides laundry, what chore around the house do you dislike doing the most?
Um, Probably the dishes. I hate doing the dishes. Or simply just like taking the trash down. It's such a pain just to carry it down, especially when it's cold. You just don't want to go outside, and then Dad's like, "Go take the trash down."
Yep, she is hitting it all on the head. I mean, growing up, I was like, I didn't like taking the trash out either because, my mom on a Saturday morning would wake me up really early and say, take the trash out. And it was like, well, the trash doesn't even come until Tuesday. Why I got to take it out now? Oh, she just wanted me up doing stuff. Okay, for Jay, he likes the food stuff. Two unusual foods that you like to combine together.
That's a hard question. Um, I know like this isn't odd, but like peanut butter and pancakes is good. And
Okay,
then like not
Nice.
necessarily syrup, but like just any syrup in general is good on it. Not even just maple syrup.
okay. So is it crunchy
Like
or creamy peanut butter?
creamy peanut butter.
Okay. See, we're just getting to know all this stuff about you. I mean, this is all great stuff that's going to be on your college applications. We know it. And this
They're
one, I know. Good. This one I know will be on there as well. What's the fastest wild animal that you could beat in a foot race?
um I don't know. Like maybe like a frog.
A frog. Yeah. That.
If we're just walking, I could probably beat him. Like speed walk.
There you go. That's great. All right. Now, your theme song when you go to the plate. What is that?
I'm trying to remember. So I like chose Chattahoochee for my country song, I believe. And that's just like such a fun song and it gets me hype every time.
All right. Good. And we're going to move to the final one that I have. And you've given us lots of good information. Your attitude, Caitlin, resembles which of the seven dwarves when you first wake up in the morning?
Um, Probably happy. I'm a pretty happy person in the morning. I'm a morning person just like my mom. And it's like every time I go fishing with Dad, I'm like wide awake, ready to go, and Dad's like, "Shut up. I'm not going."
Good. Jay, what's yours?
I'm also a morning person, and when you're a morning person, you annoy everyone else in the world because if they're not morning people, they do not like talking to morning people. That's just a fact.
So I am not I am becoming more of a morning person, but I would say I would most resemble sleepy because I'm still tired when I wake up. I don't know. That's what I'm just saying. Katelyn, you have done an outstanding job. We've enjoyed having you on here tonight. Is there anything else that you want to add and or say about yourself or give a shout out to anybody?
Nope, I think I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you for this experience.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have you hold on here, and we'll talk to you right after the program. We'll keep you on here and just finish up. But we want to have Jay go ahead and close out the program for us. He always, he does such a good job, so we're going to let him do that again. Go ahead, Jay.
Awesome. One Sports Locker Nation, we cannot thank you enough for tuning in tonight. We had an awesome first of the year episode with Miss Katelyn Peterson from the Eugene Eagles. She is an outstanding person, and if you missed any of the interview, it will be loaded up on YouTube. Is that later tonight, Dad, or
Yes.
tomorrow?
It'll be later tonight, probably within 15 minutes.
Within 15 minutes, you can check out this interview on YouTube, and we would really appreciate that. You guys know what you have to do if you want us to keep bringing great people like Katelyn Peterson on the show. You need to like our show, you need to follow it, share it, and then come on the show and have fun with us. Leave comments. We love when you guys do that. We had some great comments tonight. But yeah, this was a super fun way to kick off the year, and we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. bringing you guys some awesome content from right there in mid-Missouri. Sports Locker Nation, this is One Nation, a Sports Locker magazine extra, and we are honored that you guys tune in with us every Monday at 7 p.m. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. God bless.
God bless you. We'll see you next week.